Hello, everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Guns, brought to you by Patriot Patch Company. This show offers commentary on the latest firearms industry news, information, and buzz. I'm your host, Matt Larosiere, and I'm joined with my lovely co-host, Shawn Herrin. Shawn, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I've never been called lovely before, so it's a red letter day for both of us, really.
Well, you actually have. It was a couple weeks ago I did the same thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. But it hit just as hard today. So keep up the great work.
I love and live to please.
Thank you. What's up, man?
So y'all out there actually don't know this, unless you were on the bus with us, but Shawn and I got to meet in person last week for the first time at the Gundies.
Yeah, we did, and it was awesome. And I have pictures of it and everything.
You know, we had a great time. It was really a great event. Got to hang out with a bunch of people that, you know, we might have just been emailing or messaging with or whatever, but then getting to put faces to the names was awesome. Getting to shoot some of the cool guns was awesome. I brought an FGC 9.
Oh yeah. In many colors.
yeah. Well, that's how, you know, that's how you got to do it.
Exactly.
I literally won't buy black PLA plus, because if I'm in control of what the gun's coming out, it's going to be coming out in Vaporwave Miami colors, no matter what happens.
Pretty cool. And it leaves more of the PLA plus in black for me.
Yeah, which is always out of stock. But so yeah, I brought it out, and I just brought it out as like a funny joke.
Yeah.
And I put it in Ian McCollum's hands, and he shot it. And so now there's all these pictures and stuff of him, and everyone's freaking out. And like a bunch of people were coming up asking, like, they thought the gun was like on display.
Oh man.
Because I was hanging out with the Brownells guys, and I put it in front of the Brownells booth, and everyone kept saying, "Hey, what's the deal with that pink gun? Can we check that out? What's going?"
That's so awesome. I've seen the picture of Ian and you like all over the internet. It was great.
Yeah, no, that was a riot. Something else pretty fun happened at Shawn. Were you there for this? I don't know if you were, but there was a certain influencer with that was on the range. And you know, you're thinking, right, that you're around all these gun people, right? Oh, so these guys must all know what you're doing, so you feel pretty safe and relaxed. I was like at the front of the line, and 20 feet away from me, Steyr has their really dope 50 cal.
Yeah,
right? They're letting everybody shoot or whatever, and they've got a target set up, and it was only 100 yards with a scoped 50 cal, right, on a bipod and a monopod, right? So it's anyone can do it.
Yeah,
right? And then I just get this sense of like dread. Like I literally, I had a sixth sense thing where I was like, oh, and I hear a noise, and it's a bad noise.
okay.
I hear the boof, and then I just hear metal, right?
Yeah.
And I turn to my left, and I feel like little bits of stuff like hitting me and hitting everybody. And the pistol tree is now like twisted and on the ground. And I'm like, what the heck happened? And Othais is next to me. He goes, that influencer just shot the pistol tree with a 50 cal. It was 15 feet away.
Yeah. I'm like, luckily no one was injured. But the story was, even further, I talked to some of the guys at the booths, and they were like, yeah, we told her, do not shoot that. We pointed it in the proper direction, way downrange where everyone else was shooting. And she literally listened to our instructions, got down behind the gun, and turned it straight towards that pistol tree. It was a conscious decision. And that's the kind of thing that pisses me off. It was Hannah Barron. I'll call out bad behavior for bad behavior. Yeah.
I didn't know who it was. But honestly, man, I will stay quiet until the moment I get hit with spalling.
Yeah.
And I did. And so, Hannah, what the heck were you doing?
She seemed like super nice, but it was really irresponsible.
She was a total sweetheart. But like, yeah, that was like, it's like, dude, you don't have to be that into guns to know that is 647 grains going out fast.
Yeah.
To then smash into, but another thing, and it was Dillon Precision's target that they brought. It was borrowed.
Oh, it's
from the manufacturer. And let me just say, I don't know who made this target, but you guys should find out and do some digging, because those are good targets.
Oh, it didn't even go through, did it?
Nope. It was a pistol thing this big, and it had dished. Like you could have drank sake out of it or something.
Yeah.
After
lead infused sake.
but it stayed together. And so, because if hardened steel breaks, that shrapnel is bad.
Yeah.
So, that I want to get me some of them targets. But on top of that, just like, guys, somebody hands you a 50, it's for stuff that's far away.
Yeah, it is. It is. You mentioned you thinking that you're at a gun event, people know what they're doing. I will tell you a lesson that I learned very early on, being in the industry, and that is the most dangerous places that I've ever been are ranges that are filled with people who write about guns, talk about guns, shoot guns, whatever. Like, always, I am on my guard so much at these events, especially events that have a heavy preponderance of writers. Writers are the worst.
Oh my God. So I already knew that.
Yeah.
From SHOT Show.
Yeah. So writers are bad, but now this new brand of influencers that are coming up, just like, I don't know, the selfie culture, like, they are just as bad as writers.
Well, but to me, the thing is like, you're constantly being filmed shooting the guns. Like, they get called out for bad form and stuff like that. So they must, that was my thought. But the writers, I learned that at SHOT Show. I was hanging out at the Walther booth, and they were, I was checking out all the cool stuff, and I kept looking at all these people, and I knew some of them, right? I'm a writer. I like to, I know what's up, and I see some of these people come up, people I've respected and read their work. And here, hold on, let me grab this. It's clear, but this is what I kept seeing.
Oh gosh.
Right? The thumb over, like, the cross thumb stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was constant. And like, I was like, and I'm talking to one of the guys there. I'm like, hey, yo, what's going on? And they're all shooting they've got those Taekwondo targets.
Yep.
They're like 10 feet away. And so they'll just like dump the mag like that.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, every time. It's just that's what he says every time.
Yeah. Influencers and writers. And that's not to like throw everybody and lump everybody into the same category, but we saw it. It was displayed. I was not up there, but I heard about it for the rest of the day. Sean Lindley from Global. I'm sorry. God, what is he from? He's from the YouTube channel that blows everything up, which I'm drawing a blank on right now. He was telling us about it. I was standing there with Guns and Gear. And we were talking about it. And then I went up to talk to the Steyr guys, and they were talking about it. They're kind of annoyed.
The Dylan guys were really sweet. They were, I mean, because it was their stuff that was being borrowed.
Yeah.
So they were, I was surprised at how not irate they were.
Yeah.
But aside from that, it was a good time. Except some people really don't like sea shanties.
That's hilarious. I love sea shanties. In fact, this morning I was listening to pirate metal as I got ready for work.
Storm?
Ailstorm, yeah.
Classic.
My favorite. Yeah.
And I'm a seafaring person. Somebody's singing sea shanties, I'm jumping in. But yeah, so me and Othais and a couple of other of my friends, we were on these buses going back and forth to this event, and we decided it would be a good idea to sing sea shanties. And we got pretty good buy-in, right?
Yeah.
From the bus. But I know I upset Guns and Gadgets. Because he went on a podcast afterwards saying, the event was great, but there was this asshole. And it's like, one, it wasn't just me. Brandon Herrera was singing along with us. Rapid Fire Rachel was singing along. 60% of the bus had bought in. Everyone was having a good time. But I guess, some of these people have just never seen the ocean.
What? That's so sad. That sea shanty that's been going around lately is my favorite thing ever. Wellerman or yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. TikTok. Thank you, TikTok, for reinvigorating sea shanties. I used to have a buddy, and when I worked in DC, I had a British buddy, Alex Hammond. What's up? He still sings sea shanties, but he was when we go to a bar together and he just starts singing, and so it's a great community thing, right? Especially now when we need a sense of community, we need a sense of belonging and togetherness. There's nothing quite just call and response and singing together. it doesn't have to be good. That's the point. It's for like sailors.
It needs to be like just a crew of uneducated people with 3 teeth can sing it at the top of their lungs. That's all we need.
But so yeah, sorry, dude. Didn't mean to upset him, but not sorry for doing what I did.
He's coming on We Like Shooting soon again. I'll make sure to sing sea shanties when he's on.
I saw him on the bus too, and like after we'd finished, he was just there like this.
He's so mad right now.
I mean, it's like, look, I'm sorry you didn't join in. And he called me out for like having the lyrics open on my phone.
Yeah,
some of them get complicated.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, like what were we doing? The last shanty. That one's kind of complicated. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I had a good time. I enjoyed it. Othais enjoyed it. Brendan Herrera enjoyed it, and the 60% of the bus enjoyed it. So
that's so awesome. The whole event was a blast. It was great. Great getting to see people that I hadn't seen in a while. It was just a really good, and the Gundies did a great job. It was like really well put together. Everything was amazing, and yeah, it was
good. It was just a good time getting like so. Yeah, I support what they're doing. It's cool because we're not going to get recognition from any of the normal industry stuff. So it's cool to have something like that, especially out in the middle of. And so like I haven't spent much time in Texas.
Yeah.
And so like it's a part of Texas that they've designed to make look like Africa. And I'm like looking at stuff and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is like Texas stuff or Africa stuff.
It's Africa
stuff. So all the animals, because I'm like, not the animals. I mean, obviously, like, I don't see many hippos.
Yeah. They leveled so much of the land and they like built up like ridges and they terraformed it to be like Africa, basically. It was
gorgeous though.
It's amazing. My favorite place on earth, actually, is Ox Ranch. Yep. Right. I've gotten to spend 5 days there.
Really?
It was amazing. One of the best memories of my entire life.
Yeah, no, they had a lot of cool stuff. Whole lot of cool.
Oh, sorry. While we were messing around, a lot of news happened.
Yeah, it sure did.
Even start, Matt.
Okay. So let's talk about something important because a lot of people have been talking. There's a lot of buzz going on right now about HR 127, which is Jackson Lee's big bill that would break everything.
Yep.
We should talk about just real quick what it would take to get there. The first thing they'd need to do is get rid of the filibuster.
Yeah.
All right. And we've talked about before that Manchin has vowed not to vote against this filibuster. Manchin is a Democrat from West Virginia who has ambitions to run for governor of West Virginia when he's done there. I don't think that him causing gun control, right, or indirectly causing gun control to come in would be a good idea for that plan.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty, I feel pretty good about him not voting against the filibuster. I don't feel good at, he'd vote for gun control. He's done it before, Manchin to me.
Yep.
But now, AmmoLand report that there's another one. Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona is a Democratic senator who's also vaguely pro-gun and has vowed not to vote to end the filibuster.
I think it's important, not just for guns, but like for everything. Like this is a way that, and maybe I'd feel differently if the shoe was on the other foot, but I don't think so.
No, because look, in Florida, we have constitutional amendments that, carry very much force of law the way, new acts of Congress do, and as far as your practical effect goes. And those need to pass by supermajority.
Yeah.
I think everything should need a supermajority. And if that means not a lot of stuff get done, it means probably most people don't want all that stuff getting done, right?
Right. It's weird how that works.
So the filibuster is kind of like the hidden way to require a supermajority because you need 60 votes to end it.
Yeah.
And so that's, as long as we keep that, it should mean, right? It should mean that the hardcore gun control stuff is dead in the water.
Which is the case. Yeah. But we'll see. And I like to see people stepping across the aisle as long as it's to our side. But I mean, it's not even across the aisle. It's like, it's kind of, it's staying with something that exists for a very specific reason and getting rid of it. I mean, it's just they're trying to stack the deck more in their favor by getting rid of that. And yeah, I'm against it. I'm against it for either party, honestly.
Right. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Next up, we all know about Cody Wilson, right? The guy from Defense Distributed.
Yeah, sugardaddy.com. I know all about him.
Yeah, well, and also, let me just tell all you guys out there, you can support home gun building without supporting certain degeneracy. But anyway,
I don't think he did anything wrong, personally. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Live your life. Do what you're going to do. It wasn't, I think that
I don't, let's just not. I don't even, you know what? I have no opinion about what people do in their bedroom stuff, as long as, people aren't being coerced and
agreed.
And as long as there's all consent and that people are adults. But anyway, Ghost Gunner 3. Well, anyway, so you guys know Ghost Gunner. It's a little desktop CNC. It's a really limited desktop CNC that uses a router motor, spins really fast. You can cut out AR lowers with it really easily, and people have been getting it to do a lot of new stuff. Well, they're coming out with a new version now at GunFest, and the big thing here is that they're showing off its ability to finish off AKM 80%ers on top of AR-15 and other stuff. So this is interesting to me because, well, I don't know if it's like that big of a brag, because AK 80% are like a funny joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just a couple holes.
Yeah.
Like,
I was kind of wondering that. I was like, what in the, I've never seen an AKM 80%, but well, like what, where just drills a couple holes. That's it. Yeah.
And so the one they're showing here, it doesn't have the rails in there, which is annoying because that's one of the hardest parts, is welding your rails in straight. But yeah, no, I mean, you've got to drill and so you've got to cut out the shape for the selector. That's a little annoying. That takes some hand filing if you're doing it by yourself. Then cut the fire control group holes. So I mean, it's a convenience. But I guess the big thing here is they're showing its ability to cut through steel, albeit sheet steel. Regardless, I think it's cool. I think it's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in clearly. Like whatever they can do, whatever they can add, the better they can make it. The easier they can make it, the better off we all are.
I mean, moving forward, technology is, it's incremental. I think that this looks like an incremental step. Desktop CNC, and also, like, I'll be honest, it's really annoying to cut out the rear holes on a 100 series AK folding receiver. It's really annoying. So, something like this to be able to just make that less of a problem, I think that's cool. I think it's, worth supporting.
So it says that it'll drill the front and rear trunnion and the trigger guard holes in under 45 minutes. That seems like a very long time to drill 6 holes.
Yeah, you do have to remember that the selector hole is a weird shape, but sometimes those are already in there. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's
either way, I'm clearly in.
It does seem like it's taking a long time. I think it's like, obviously this isn't the only thing they're advertising as being able to do. It can do a whole lot of other stuff. But progress is progress. I support progress no matter where it is. I don't think I'll be buying one. But I think it's cool.
Did you see that they mentioned the FGC9 in the article?
Did they?
Yeah, it's down at the bottom. Defense Distributed did bring out another cool item, but it's not something they make. It's a 3D printed gun called the FGC9. The people who developed it are kindred spirits with Defense Distributed.
Interesting.
Yeah. It is.
Theirs is very handsome.
It looks really good. They did like a copper cover. Yeah.
Interesting.
I want one of these now.
An FGC?
Yeah, I need to do that. That needs to be my next thing. Okay.
Well, I think there's a certain wind chime company that might be able to hook you up very soon with some of the parts.
Heck yeah. I'm very excited about that, actually.
But all right, before I give away too much, but yeah, cool. I mean, it's still an expensive toy, but hey, cool. If you got the money, play with it, support them, and hopefully, stuff gets cheaper and better as we go forward.
Heck yeah, man.
Kansas.
Kansas.
The old Dusty Bowl. So yeah, in Kansas, 18-year-olds can open carry if they don't don a jacket. Right. But so yeah, you can open carry, put on a coat, suddenly it's a big deal. So now gun rights proponents in the Dust Bowl state are pushing a bill that would create a provisional permit for those 18 to 21 if they pass a background check and undergo training.
Okay.
And I mean, this is another one of the same things, right? It's like, do we like progress for progress's sake? It's of course, I think what should happen is we just nuke all of the carry laws entirely, right? But as long as there's more human freedom in the end, I think it's a good step.
Yeah, it is. It's 100% a good step. I fully support it. I genuinely stand by and like, it's an arbitrary limit. Like, I don't know, there's no real science behind, an 18-year-old is more or less responsible than a 16-year-old who is more or less responsible than a 21-year-old. However, if you can go and you can join our military and fight for our country, then like that's the line where you're a freaking adult and you can just do whatever adults can do.
Oh yeah, ought to be anyway. And I mean, look, and if you're going to draw an arbitrary line, draw it. But and you know what? The other thing, what about legally emancipated minors?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That should be something that's in all these laws. If you're 18 or legally emancipated, because that's the point where you're out on your own and you are responsible for yourself and your own safety. I think that those people, I mean, sure, they're rare, but I think that those people are getting the short end of the stick because it's like, nope, you're out in the world. But if someone wants to use violence against you, sorry, buddy, get old.
Yeah, exactly. And not just that, but this is purely an assumption of mine. But I would assume that a legally emancipated minor is probably going to be broke AF and like, they're going to live in crappier neighborhoods. They may be in different living situations. Like if they want to be armed to protect themselves, heck yeah. And
they're statistically the people that most need to be armed to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So
I'm all about the poor arming themselves and not putting anything in place that would prevent that under any circumstances.
So you're a Marxist. I'm kidding. But no, I 100% agree. I think one of the worst laws that we have on the books in the United States is the Pittman-Robertson Act, which forces all of us who buy guns to pay for like migratory bird stuff. Like, look, no, I don't care about that. All right, if you care about that, that's cool. Donate to whatever you want. But look, the most important, the focus on gun rights in this country should be getting guns to those people who most need them, especially now in these trying times where everything has gotten so expensive. We shouldn't be doing little things to make costs higher. And that's, these permit stuff, there's costs associated with that. They raise the costs. Every time you raise costs, you're disincentivizing people from protecting themselves. And when you disincentivize people from protecting themselves, if they get in those situations, I mean, really, I think morally, it's on the government, right?
Yeah.
When those people get hurt, I think that the government is morally responsible for that.
I 100% agree, without question.
So Kansas, good step. Get the emancipated minors.
There you go. I like it. Oh, this next one's interesting. I saw about this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Don't you love them?
I do actually. Yes. Anyone knows this.
They're really cool, and they send ammunition to. Oh, let me say who they are. Phoenix Ammunition. They're a really cool company. They're not sponsoring us, but they send ammunition to people who develop 3D guns and stuff like that because they are baller, hardcore people.
Oh, they're even cooler than I thought they were. I didn't know.
And now they're way cool. So
yeah.
They were, and look, this isn't me making any kind of statement on the mask stuff. That's out of my wheelhouse. I don't touch it. Right. But Phoenix Ammunition was cited for a mask ordinance. Right. And the local cops came in and, threw a fit over them, hit them with this huge citation. So the owner has now vowed to never sell ammunition to law enforcement ever again. Yeah. So, but they posted a sign on their front door informing people that, hey, people in here aren't wearing masks. They're out working, they're doing stuff, they're breathing heavy. They got to be able to breathe. So then, somebody tattles, the state cites them, and the founder the founder posts on Twitter. No, hell, I have to read his tweet. It was
It is amazing.
Officer Matthew Chislek is a coward and an oath breaker. Guess who isn't doing business with law enforcement agencies ever again?
Yes.
It's like,
fantastic. Yeah.
It's, I mean, look, and look, this isn't me making a statement about law enforcement or anything like that, but there's got to be, even if what you're doing is enforcing the law, right? There has to be consequences. Doesn't matter who you are. You know, discretion is really important. Discretion is the reason it was built into our legal system to prevent enforcement of laws that the community finds unjust. And so you're going to enforce a law the community, or at least a member of the community, finds unjust. You should have a consequence for that.
Yeah, 100% agree. Funny story. Someone just reminded me of this actually Saturday, I believe. And I had someone reach out to me at my FFL, someone I know, and he is law enforcement. And he said, hey, I need to get some 30-round mags. I have a law enforcement exemption. And this is a dude I've known for 25 years. And I have police in my family. Like I am not a police hater by any means. I respect the police that do their job and do their job well. And I know it's an extremely difficult job. However, when he came to me and he said, I need 30-round mags and I have an exemption, I told him that I would not sell him anything that I can't sell to any citizen in Colorado and to Pound Sand. I was like, and then, we'll go have a beer and whatever. But yeah, no, I'm not going to do it. Don't care. If we can't have it, you can't have it.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. And I love this. Phoenix, great job.
Yeah. Look, man,
I'm
hold them accountable, hold your local representatives accountable, and let them know what you think. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if I disagree with it.
Yeah. What so they do stuff with the 3D printing world?
This is just like, I just like know that from talking to guys. I don't know how like openly do they do that. I think that they've donated ammunition to some of the developers or like hooked them up or something. I've just heard about it because we were talking about this story. I was talking to some of the guys in the community and they were telling me that, yeah, these guys are awesome, that they help out and stuff.
Good for these guys. I'll definitely look them up. And
yeah, it's a small shop, right? So it's not like federal or nothing. So, but look, law enforcement, especially local agencies, they do depend on local suppliers. And so this probably will have an effect on their bottom line. So
good for them. And that's FENIXammo.com. Looks like they're sold out of most things right now. However, put them on your check daily list and give them the support that they deserve.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
Love it.
All right. So now to company boy doing something bad.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I cut that out. So yeah, former vice president of Kimber, who you guys might be aware, they make guns for boomers, citing his experience as the former VP of sales for Kimber America, where he served for 25 years until last year. Ryan Busey, who's this former VP, threw his weight in opposition of a bill currently under consideration in the Montana legislature, writing that it is not a pro-gun bill, it is an anti-responsibility bill. And this is a constitutional carry bill. So yeah, he's saying that basically you having the right to carry is not pro-gun, and it's anti-responsibility. And this caused so much backlash, it caused Kimber, the company that he doesn't work for anymore, to publicly disavow him, which I think they did fast, and I have a lot of respect for them for doing that. I still don't have a lot of respect for 1911s, but I have a lot of respect for them.
I love 1911s. Like they're a great part of history. Like they're fun to shoot, but they are not the be all end all. And I'm not a huge fan of Kimber. Like I think they make beautiful things, and previously they made great things, but they've gone way downhill the last while. So this did come out. Kevin Dixie was on We Like Shooting, and the next day he posted. We talked about it on the show, and then the next day he posted it, and it blew up from there. And yeah, like they disavowed this guy. This guy is kind of I don't know,
little beehole,
a ninny muggin. I don't really know what that is, but it seems that's probably hate speech. But yeah, like he got zomboed. So
you got all the words today. But yeah, he and about 1911s. Yeah, I like him too. I'm just being edgy. I own one, And I think they're cool. I love shooting them. I mostly just hate on 1911s because it makes people angry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So funny story, actually, when I first started getting into guns, my first carry gun was an officer model 1911 because I listened to some FUD boomers.
Right.
And I carried it for a long time and like grew to love it. And then I got a Rock Island 1911. I shot that thing in competition, single stack, USPSA for a year and
Really?
never cleaned it. And that it was awesome. I had to reload like 74 times per stage, but it was a blast. So like I have shot 1911s more than most people and I love them, but yeah, I also understand the pros and cons of the platform.
Right.
Anyway, this guy's dumb. I don't know if he's going to be one of those. He's a 2A butt guy. He says in the article, I believe strongly in the Second Amendment. I own plenty of guns. I shoot with my boys every chance I get, and I believe in the right to protect my family. But, and the second they say that, you know, they're not actually 2A people.
Right.
Yeah.
One other thing on Kimber. I have shot their high country bolt action rifle.
Ooh.
It was sweet.
I've actually heard their bolt actions are pretty nice.
It was sweet.
Yeah. You know, it was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me, Ryan?
Yeah, they were like, you just left.
I know. I want to know why he left. Maybe 25 years he just had enough and he wanted to retire, but I wonder if there was some other drama behind that. Maybe we'll never know, but maybe we will.
Maybe he was itching to say this.
Yeah,
like, I gotta say it.
I finally have the freedom to be the cuck that I've always wanted to be.
I finally have the freedom to oppose freedom.
Exactly. Loser.
All right. Last up. So we talk about this 80% thing a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's something that's very near and dear to me. Same to you, really. We're all up in it. I'm all up in the homemaking community. You're out there squirting out guns, so am I. He's got one there. He squirted hot snotted that thing out.
Exactly. Amazing.
And by the way, look at how nice that is. Everybody see how nice that is? He's holding up a Mac Daddy, which is a 3D printable Mac 11. That's actually makes it into a good gun.
Oh yeah, this is a great gun. Like 200 rounds
and smooth it is.
It's beautiful.
It's not supposed to be that way because how long did it take you to print that?
3 days.
Yeah. So if you're really patient, you can wind up with a really beautiful one like that. But I talked to Shawn about his printer settings, and so now it should only take him a day to make another one. But no, yeah, you were saying the Mac Daddy, you put hundreds of rounds through it, and
yeah, 200. Well, actually, no, I decided it was 250 through it without one malfunction. Once I got it dialed in, like it took me a little bit to get dialed in. I took it to the range once, and it was just I almost cussed. It was not a great thing. And then came back, looked at it objectively, figured out where my problem was, sanded some material off, and it's been literally a sewing machine since. Just perfect, flawless.
Yeah, I've got the ones I've made. I take wood chisels and I scoop the stuff out, and yeah, I've got 500 rounds through one, and it is just a riot. And of course, mine is pink and blue, so yeah. Everybody's like, "What are you doing?"
Even better. But yeah, I mean, like I've got, and all those rounds, every single one of them has been suppressed,
right? Which
throws way more pressure on it. We did make one more modification that I didn't mention. We put a nut in the grip. So the nut sits up, there's a spot for a nut, and then the grip screw goes into the nut to compress all those layers, even a little more there. Cause I saw on my last print that was like a weak point. But yeah, it's great. I love it. It's fantastic. Anyway, 80%ers.
So, but then here's a question.
Yeah.
Is the spool of PLA Plus that you used to print that, is that a pre-gun?
Is it? I mean, maybe.
Well, so like we've thought about all this a lot with all the ire against 80% and, homemakeable guns. Where exactly are they going to draw the line, right? If they're going to try it, if ATF or whatever is going to try to come down on 80%, I think I know where ATF would go, but the lawmakers, where are they going to go? Where are they going to draw the line? Well, according to this Brady tweet, it seems that they are towing the most absurd line possible. That's everything, right?
Yeah.
So what should be considered a pre-gun? Anything that can be turned into a gun.
I mean, that is literally everything. Like, I don't know if they've spent more than 5 minutes on the internet, but I've seen some crazy things.
Yeah. So this is the tweet. It's simple. Anything that can be assembled into a gun should be treated as a gun. Thank you to Assembly Chris Ward for introducing this proactive, common sense legislation to stop the flow of untraceable and unregulated ghost guns.
Wow. What a man.
It's hard not to speak French about that, isn't it?
Exactly. I don't even know what to say. Like, it really annoys me.
Yeah, I want to. It is my sincere hope and wish that they get very sick.
Agreed. Agreed. So like where I don't even know where to go from there. Like anything that can be assembled into a gun. Like, do they understand like the breadth of that statement and just don't care, or are they just so narrow-sighted and short?
Here's what it is.
Yeah,
they know what they're thinking,
mm-hmm.
and they think everybody else does. So they might be thinking something actually pretty reasonable. Well, not. I mean, compared to like spoons, right?
Right.
But they're not saying it. They're just thinking, well, yeah, get all them things that people are buying, right? But what about printer filament? What about shovels, like for AK receivers? What about anything? We just don't know what they're thinking. I think they're probably thinking, because they are a reactionary, a very simple-minded beast, that it's just everything that is commercially sold. I mean, but look, that's just me trying to like apply rational, the logical reason to them, and I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, but you assume that these are like thinking people. They may not think the same way we do. They may not critically think very much, but I assume that they're not just choking on their cereal because they forgot how to chew every morning. Like, I don't understand how they rationalize this.
Oh, no, they do. It's what here's what they say. They're like, you can buy this thing, and then you don't know the background check, and then now it's a gun.
Yeah,
that's what they think. Like, that's their whole thing. Is they got the thing, they got the 80th thing, and now they did it, and now it's a gun.
Yeah, except guaranteed a bunch of them got concerned about the riots and COVID and couldn't buy toilet paper and went out and bought guns. But they keep it on the DL. I was in Texas.
I wonder.
Yeah, I bet a bunch of them.
Yeah, I do bet. Just from the people, you sell guns. I've got a gun shop. The people who came in during that stuff, I was like, I know you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, 100%.
So I wish that we could. That would be the only advantage of one of those federal bills that, like, one of those other Jackson Lee bills that are never going to pass and everyone's still like pooping their pants over, that she wants like a federal registry that's publicly searchable, just so we could know which of these bastards like went and bought them.
Yeah, 100% agree. Just to see, like, I would never actually advocate for that, but just to be able to see and.
Oh no! But if this did happen, that would be the first thing I'd do.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Exactly, man.
I'm sure they find some way to like not be on the list, or maybe they do this funny thing, this cool trick, not comply.
Ooh, I bet they do.
I bet they would, because if something like that happens, you're gonna have to put in your stuff, right? Because the way the law is currently written, it's allegedly there's supposed to be no central database.
Yeah,
I bet you that these gentlemen and women would just not do it because that could ruin my career.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like, oh, well, but I think they rationalize it like, well, I'm not one of these nut jobs.
Yeah. It's not going to be me. They don't need. There's no reason. Like
vomit.
Whereas you, the one who's scared of guns and never touches them, doesn't play with them and train with them. You're the one who's going to ND. Right? Or like shoot your family member or something when you panic because you don't train and you don't have respect for the weapon. You think it's just this like, and a lot of people who are on the anti side think it's just like this magic wand that you can shake at stuff. They're probably the most dangerous gun owners because of the level of ignorance, right? They think that guns are magical and so effective and you just pick them up and you're a killing machine. That's who that's who I don't want to see holding a gun.
I mean, without question, the people who actually seem unhinged on the internet, about us having guns are, yeah, I'm with you. Like the ones that I'm like, ooh,
They might just be projecting. And I've actually thought of, I mean, I'm joking, kind of. I'm joking and I'm not joking. Like, I feel like some of these people have invasive thoughts, right? Like, and like most people get occasionally invasive thoughts where like you're sitting there doing something normal, and then like you get this bad thought in your head.
yeah, call of the void.
Yeah. What I feel like, I wonder how many people who are super anti-gun are so, because they have these invasive thoughts so often, that they just think that, oh, well, everybody must think about this all the time, and so we can't trust people to have them around.
Yeah, it's
If they would come out and say that, if they would come out and say, oh, well, yeah, because like I keep thinking about it, then I would actually maybe have a little respect for them.
right, because it's like they're holding a gun and they're like, oh my god, if like this could just like hurt and kill everyone around me, like, oh my god, that would be the worst thing that ever happened. They have that thought. That's exactly that invasive thought, that call of the void, I think it's called. And like everybody has those thoughts. They're completely natural. I remember when I first got into guns, like I had those kind of things like, oh my god, like this is kind of nuts. And so I did some research into it. We've covered it on We Like Shooting like many times, because I think it's a impediment to people getting involved in guns. They feel like there's something wrong with them.
Right.
It's actually a very natural thing. It's standing on the edge of a cliff, like, oh my god, like what if I just jumped off? Like,
Yeah,
that would be so nuts.
Yeah. And I mean, like, when it happens to me, it's just a reminder to be very safe.
Heck yeah.
I'll be like, and I'm pretty, I can always be better, but I'm pretty safe with guns. But sometimes I'll have one and I'll just be like walking past and like trip a little bit or something. And then my brain will be like, here's what could have happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
exactly. I'm like, okay, well, if that does happen, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold the gun tight. I'm going to keep it away from my head. I'm going to do a somersault barrel roll.
Yeah.
And everything's going to be just fine.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can harness anti-gunners. You can harness those invasive thoughts to be safe.
Yeah.
Do that, and then come out and have fun with us.
Yeah. Stop.
You're invited.
They are invited.
You are invited. You can come to my range. Actually, you can go to Shawn's range. And then after you go there, come to mine.
That's fine. I've actually, yeah. Actually, they'd get there and I'd be like, get out of here.
But Matt said we could come.
That's awesome.
Dude, if anybody who I know is an anti-gunner, I will always show them a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll take them to the range. Oh, is that what you meant? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. So I think that, yeah, everything now. What's that?
So that's all for today.
Yeah.
Guys, check out, if you're watching this on Fudbusters, check out Firearms Radio Network. They've got a lot of great programs. You can also get the other Fudbusters content there in podcast form. We Like Shooting is a great program. I mean, you should be checking these things out on your drive, stuff like that. Tons of great programs for your drives, your flights, or to get you to sleep. Shawn has a very nice sleepy time voice, so I recommend it for that. Also, you got to check out Patriot Patch Company. They got really dope designs, and they're supporting us. So check out their designs, and maybe throw them a few dollars. Yeah,
they're awesome. They have the Patch of the Month Club, which is amazing. And you can find them. You can find Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv, and you can find Patriot Patch Company at patriotpatch.co, and join the Patch of the Month Club. It's awesome.
Right on.
Heck yeah. Does that do it for this week?
I think that does it.
All right. Can't wait. I think we got a little bit behind because of travel, but I think we're going to record 2 this week, right? Yes. And we'll be back on track. So don't worry, Othias. It's just fine. Everything's okay. Everything's
okay. Gets worried about us when we're off schedule.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
Alex had the last word.